happening is this bifurcation. You're reading about the art market's down 24% year to date. We've got this unbelievable auction this evening, Emily Fisher Landau's collection, in beautiful collection of art. These are Rothkos, the best Rothkos, the best the best of the best, the Jasper Johns and so forth. These will sell for big money. Right? These are not that lower tier or mid tier art. This is the best. It will not come to market again.
So when you say art market is down 24%, that doesn't include this kind of art.
I think it's bifurcating. And we're seeing the same thing in the collector car world, right? The GTO that's going to be auctioned in a few days.
At Sotheby's on Monday.
Sotheby's. Yeah. Yep. And then the big auction in Vegas that RM Sotheby's having. There are 2 Mercedes-Benz CLK GTRs being auctioned in Vegas. You never see those cars come up for sale, let alone 2. So these are the best of the best, and whether the Dow's at 34,000 or 5,000, there is a market for these cars because they will not come back to auction in a long time.
All right, so interest rates have basically no effect on, the GTO, which is, by the way, if you've seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off,
yes.
right? That's the car.
Oh.
I mean, that wasn't a real one, obviously, that they pushed out the back window of his dad's garage. But
that was a California Spider.
Yeah,
right?
And at the time, that was also one of the most expensive cars ever sold. I think I remember hearing when I was a kid that it was going for like $14 million. Now we're expecting a price of more than twice that from the Sotheby's auction on Monday. Doesn't matter. When someone buys these cars, she or he doesn't care if rates are 0 or 10, right?
Yeah, well, I think it does matter. I mean, interest rates affect everything. They affect equities. They affect real assets. I think there's a lag effect, right? It takes time. We had 10 years of free money, of QE, and suddenly we're in a different environment. We had cheap energy. We didn't have geopolitical conflicts to speak of. We had globalization going gangbusters, and now suddenly we're in a different world of a 4.5% to 5% 10-year. This takes time to meander through the system. What I'm saying is the best of the best, a GTO or a Calder that Emily Fisher Landau bought years ago, those are different. That's a different ballgame.
By the way, tell us about the GTO. I mean, there's the one I mentioned in the movie. There's
that was a California Spider, actually.
Okay, so I think also Nick Mason has a GTO.
Yep.
Right?
It's a club.
Who's Nick Mason?
The drummer for Pink Floyd.
Thank you.
He also is a big car collector and has, I think, a fund that people have invested in. Why is Ferrari GTO, like, why is that the top?
It's the single most iconic car that Ferrari ever built. Most of them were raced.
And when did they build it, more or less?
In the early 60s, 62,
Okay.
63, 64
Style.
time. And yeah, the styling of it is just outrageous. When you see a GTO, it doesn't look like any other car on the road or any other Ferrari for that matter. Its folklore is growing by leaps and bounds every day with Ferrari's popularity and Ferrari's mystique, the Ford versus Ferrari movie. The GTO is really the nucleus of what Enzo Ferrari wanted to do, and the GTO is unique because it was a car you could drive to the track and you could race and be competitive in the car, very competitive. So it's a incredibly unique asset.
Right,
and this one that's for sale at Sotheby's, I think the numbers are going to be unbelievable.
Who's selling? Do we know who owns it now?
Yeah, the owner is known. I think he's a gentleman from Ohio. I read the article. I forget who.
Okay.
The great state of Ohio.
The great state of Ohio.
I believe so, somewhere in the Midwest.
So I went to the Concours d'Elegance at Pebble Beach for many, many, many years. This past year, for example, were the proceeds up or down, or they don't care as well?
So I will tell you, I was there. I spoke on a panel, and I spent the weekend in Monterey, and I walked all the auction houses. I went to Gooding, I went to RM, and I will tell you the quality of cars that are coming on the market, so high. The Gooding auction in particular, I mean, some of the vehicles they had there are things that haven't been seen in years. And you wonder, like, where have all these cars been? Why are they coming out of the woodwork now? They're coming out of the woodwork now because markets are high, valuations are high. It's a global market now. And they can realize incredible
It is a
prices.
global market because, I mean, we lived in Carmel for a long time, sleepy little town, tourist town, but during the concourse, it is like the United Nations. I mean, people speaking every different language walking down Ocean Avenue.
Do car collectors get the same kind of respect that art collectors have? I always thought as a kid it was crazy that somebody would pay more for a picture of flowers that a guy named Van Gogh painted than they would pay for a Ferrari. Like, you can't drive a painting, right?
Well, Matt, that's changing now. I think collector cars are becoming a legitimate asset class that people want to own. You can enjoy them. You can share. For example, the GTO. The celebrities and the level of people that own GTOs, they get together socially and they do drives together, and there are things worldwide. They ship the cars all over the world and they drive through Venice or wherever they go to Sicily. They do all of that. So there's a social component to this that doesn't really, I think, exist as much in the art world, although it's obviously very social too. But I think the collector car world is moving up as an industry, as a legitimate asset category. And if the electric drive phenomenon accelerates, a lot of these cars, these intricate, beautiful V12 handcrafted devices, that's not going to be being made anymore, right? We're going to have electric appliances.
Do you think that day's going to come?
I think we're a long way off.
I do too.
I think their electric cars have a place in certain applications. In Florida, great. You got clean power, and you've got good temperatures, but long haul, northeast, cold temperatures, it's not a total solution.
Like, are your Ferrari and Lamborghinis? I mean, they're not going to make electric vehicles, are they?
They are going to make electric vehicles, yeah. And they might be.
Knuckleheads that like those cars. It's the sound.
Yeah,
like.
It's the not only the sound, it's the vibrations, it's the smell, and for Philip, I'm sure it's the hand built.
It's the engineering.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, a V12 Ferrari motor is one of the most beautiful things to behold if you're an engineer and you like machinery. Incredible miracle device under the hood.
Are there more ways for investors to get into this asset class other than going to a Sotheby's auction and buying, a GTO or a Mercedes?
There's a lot of on-ramps to the car world. I mean, I was just going to mention, Bring a Trailer has really revolutionized the access to the market globally. So there are some fantastic cars being sold on Bring a Trailer at all budgets. So you can buy the single best Volkswagen Cabriolet in the world and wait on Bring a Trailer and find it, or you can buy a Duesenberg on Bring a Trailer.
We only have a minute left, Phil, but I want you to tell us about the Turtle Invitational, because I went to what I believe was the fourth.
Turtle Invitational.
Turtle
4.
Invitation.
Yeah.
That's the car show that he puts on in Bedford.
Yep.
Tell us about it.
So the Turtle Invitational 4 is a biennial event. We do it every other year. It benefits the Malcolm Prey Achievement Center in Bedford, New York. Malcolm Prey was one of the first Porsche, Audi, Volkswagen dealers in the United States in Greenwich. We do great things for kids there, teaching them entrepreneurial pursuits and enlightening them to new pursuits. And I decided to have a really special collector car event that would honor Malcolm Prey's legacy, but also raise money for his charity and awareness.
When is it?
It's in September, late September, every other year. So we're September 21st, 2025, and you can go to the website turtleinvitational.com. There's more info there.